Last night, President Trump announced a 3-day pause in a war, and it wasn't about Iran. Here's what he posted. I have paused the 50% tariffs against Canada that were scheduled to kick in tomorrow morning for a 3-day period, based on the fact that Canada and the United States, subject to the finalization of documents, have a deal. The great Keystone XL pipeline, long ago killed by sleepy Joe Biden, may be awoken from the grave. Now, the media will focus on the Keystone Pipeline aspect of this and whatever else is evolving from the ongoing USMCA trade negotiations. But there is something much bigger going on, and it ranges from what White House advisor Peter Navarro accused Canada of being one of the countries engaged in a basically modern form of smuggling, to a Canadian member of Parliament who's organizing a petition to throw the U.S. ambassador to Canada out of the country. This isn't a trade dispute. This is a war, and it's been going on a lot longer than the conflict with Iran. I'm Susan Kokinda, and I've tracked how the British Empire rebrands itself in order to keep up the war against American sovereignty. That's what we follow here at Promethean Action, and if that's a fight you want to be in on, hit those like, share, and subscribe buttons. Here's what I'm going to cover today. 1, the outlaw ledger, that is, what Canada actually does versus what it says it does. 2, how the speeches of 2 cabinet officers, one American and one Canadian, highlight the real battle lines. And 3, who's behind the recall petition and the larger strategy. So last week, Canada's Interior Minister, Mélanie Joly, was in London at Chatham House, selling Canada to the assembled audience as a, quote, stable, grown-up, reliable partner, as opposed to the United States, of course. But here is how that grown-up partner operates. 4 days ago, the White House put out a report called the Great Transshipment Scam. And here's what the president's trade advisor, Peter Navarro, said about it.
But what happened beginning immediately in 2018 is that China strategically began to develop methods of what's called transshipping. It's basically a modern form of smuggling.
As Navarro was describing how the Chinese repackage their goods into products that are produced in countries with lower tariffs in order to, quote, smuggle them in, the broadcast was showing just what countries are involved, and Canada is near the top of the list. But that's not the only list that Canada is on. When the administration escalated its tariff strategy back in July, it targeted countries which failed to enforce measures banning goods produced by forced or slave labor.